Would you eat something you didn't order, just to avoid embarrassing your boyfriend? Because apparently, that's what I was supposed to do. So here's what happened. And I really want to know if I'm missing something. I'm 22. My boyfriend is 23. He works as a pastry chef at this restaurant. He's been there a few months, and it's kind of a big deal for him because he got the job through my dad's good friend, who's one of the co-owners. So there's already this extra layer of pressure. It's not just a job. It's connected to my family. A few nights ago, we decided to go there for dinner. It wasn't a special occasion or anything. I just hadn't eaten all day, and I was starving. Like the kind of hungry where you feel shaky and everything starts sounding amazing. We sit down around 9 p.m. The kitchen closes at 11. The restaurant closes at midnight. So we're not cutting it close or anything. I look at the menu and immediately know what I want, the Caesar tortilla. Not the salad. The tortilla. I've had it before. It's warm, it's grilled, it has crispy bacon pieces and melted cheese inside. It's filling. It's exactly what I was craving. And I even remember thinking, okay, this is going to hit the spot. So I order it. We wait. And wait. And wait. 45 minutes go by. I'm trying not to be that person. I know restaurants get busy. I know kitchens can be chaotic. And I especially don't want to make things awkward because my boyfriend works there. Finally, the waitress brings my food. It's a Caesar salad. Just a salad. On a plate. And I kind of just blink at it for a second. Because I'm thinking maybe she mixed up tables. But no. It's mine. Now, I'm not confrontational. I'm genuinely the quiet type. I hate drawing attention to myself. So I just politely say, "Excuse me, I ordered the tortilla." She looks slightly annoyed like I've inconvenienced her, but she says, "Oh, okay, we'll make it." My boyfriend tells me to just wait and says he'll go to the kitchen and fix it himself. At this point, I'm thinking, okay, no big deal. Mistakes happen. It'll be fine. A few minutes later, he comes back with a plate. And I immediately notice something's off. It looks weirdly familiar. And then I realize. It's the same salad. They literally just took the salad that was already made and stuffed it into a tortilla. I could see the same crispy breadcrumbs from the salad inside. The same toppings. Nothing was melted. Nothing was grilled. It was just cold salad wrapped in bread. And I felt this wave of disappointment. Not even anger. Just disappointment. Because I had been thinking about that tortilla for an hour at this point. I was so hungry. And this just wasn't it. So I look at him and I say, calmly, "I'm not going to eat that. That's not what I ordered." And he immediately goes, "It's basically the same thing. Just eat it." And I'm sitting there thinking, it's not the same thing though. The tortilla version is made differently. It has crispy bacon pieces, melted cheese inside, it's warm. The salad has those thin slices of cheese that I don't even like the taste of. It's a completely different texture. Different flavor. Different experience. It's like ordering a burger and getting a deconstructed cold patty on bread and being told, it's basically the same thing. No, it's not. So I tell him again, still calm, I don't want it. It's fine. We can just go somewhere else. And that's when he starts pushing back. The kitchen is going to close soon. It's not. It's like 9:45. They close at 11. And also, that's not even the point. The point is, I ordered something specific. I waited 45 minutes. And then I got a shortcut version of it because it was easier. But instead of acknowledging that, he keeps saying, "You've been complaining for hours that you're starving. Just eat it." And that part kind of hurt. Because yes, I was starving. That's why I wanted what I ordered. Not some half version of it. So I say, again, in a normal tone, "It's really not a big deal. Let's just leave and get food somewhere else." No raised voice. No eye rolling. No scene. He's the one who calls the waitress over. He tells her to take it off the bill. We leave. We go to a fast food place. I finally eat something. I calm down. I think it's over. But on the way home, he's quiet. Then he tells me that I embarrassed him. That I caused a scene. And I'm just sitting there thinking, what scene? I didn't argue with the waitress. I didn't ask for a manager. I didn't demand a refund. I didn't even speak to her the second time. He did. Apparently, the embarrassing part was him having to tell his colleague to remove it from the bill. Because now it looks like he can't handle his own table. And because he got the job through my dad's friend, he feels extra pressure not to mess up. But I didn't create that situation. They made the wrong dish. Then they tried to fix it in the laziest way possible. And somehow I'm the villain for not just accepting it. And this is the part that's been bothering me. Why is my comfort the thing that's negotiable? Why is the expectation that I should just eat something I didn't order and didn't want to protect his image? If the roles were reversed, I can't imagine telling him to just suck it up and eat something wrong so I wouldn't look bad at work. It's such a small situation. It's literally about a tortilla. But it doesn't feel small. It feels like one of those moments where you realize how someone handles conflict. And in that moment, it felt like he cared more about not looking embarrassed in front of his co-workers than about whether I was actually happy. And I keep replaying it in my head. Should I have just eaten it? Should I have smiled and said thank you and pretended it was fine? Is that what being supportive looks like? Or is it okay to say, calmly, hey, this isn't what I ordered, even if your boyfriend works there? Because I genuinely don't think I caused a scene. But the way he reacted made me question myself. So tell me honestly, would you have just eaten the salad wrap and kept the peace? Or would you have done the same thing I did? Update. And here's where it gets more complicated. Because at first, I really tried to let it go. The next day, I texted him like normal. I didn't want this to turn into some huge relationship issue over a tortilla. That sounds ridiculous. But he was still kind of cold. Not mean, just distant. So I finally said, can we just talk about what happened? And he immediately got defensive. He said I made him look incompetent. That his co-workers were already joking like, oh, can't even get your girlfriend to eat the food? And that because the co-owner is connected to my family, it reflects badly on him if there's any kind of complaint at the table he's associated with. And that's when it clicked for me. This wasn't about the food for him. It was about pride. It was about how he looks at work. It was about not wanting to feel small in front of people. And I get that. I really do. No one likes feeling embarrassed at their job. Especially when they feel like they have something to prove. But I asked him something that kind of shifted the whole conversation. I said, if I had eaten it, would you have actually felt better? Or would you have just felt relieved that I didn't say anything? And he didn't answer right away. And that silence told me a lot. Because the truth is, he didn't want to fix the mistake. He wanted the mistake to disappear. And the easiest way for that to happen was for me to just accept it. That's what bothered me. It wasn't about bacon or cheese or breadcrumbs. It was about feeling like my very reasonable boundary, I don't want to eat this, was inconvenient. So I told him that. I told him I felt dismissed. Like my preferences didn't matter because it was easier for him if I just went along with it. And I told him I never raised my voice, I never disrespected anyone, I never demanded special treatment. I just declined to eat something that wasn't what I ordered. And then I said something that I hadn't fully admitted to myself until that moment. I felt like you were more worried about your co-workers than about me. That hit him. He got quiet again. But this time it wasn't defensive. It was reflective. A day later, he came over to my apartment. And he actually apologized. Not one of those half apologies like, I'm sorry you felt that way. A real one. He said he realized he panicked. That he's been feeling insecure at work because he knows people assume he only got the job through connections. So when something went wrong at our table, it felt like confirmation of their doubts. Like he couldn't even handle something simple. And instead of dealing with that insecurity, he projected it onto me. He admitted that telling me to just eat it wasn't fair. That part mattered. But here's the update part that surprised me. A few days later, I went back to the restaurant with a friend. Not to prove anything, we were just nearby and she wanted to try it. And the same waitress was there. She actually came up to me and said, "Hey, I'm sorry about the other night. That was our mistake. We were rushing and shouldn't have done that. And I just stood there like, wait, what? So it wasn't even in my head. They knew it was wrong. And suddenly I felt so validated. Because this whole time I'd been wondering if I'd overreacted. I hadn't. It was just a mistake that was handled lazily. When I told my boyfriend about it later, he kind of laughed, but in a sheepish way. And he said, okay, yeah. You were right. And I'm not going to lie, hearing that felt good. But the bigger thing is this: the whole situation exposed something small but important in our relationship. How do we handle discomfort? Do we smooth things over to avoid awkwardness? Or do we address them calmly and move forward? Since then, he's actually been more aware. Like if something small is off, not even food related, he doesn't dismiss it. He asks, is this actually bothering you? And that feels different. It feels like growth. So no, we didn't break up over a tortilla. But it did turn into a conversation about respect and insecurity, and how easy it is to accidentally minimize someone you care about when you're trying to protect your own ego. And sometimes I still think about how such a tiny moment, lettuce in the wrong form, revealed something bigger underneath. So now I'm curious. If that hadn't happened, would we have ever had that conversation? And how many small moments in relationships are actually quiet tests we don't even realize we're taking? Final update. And this one actually surprised me. About 2 weeks after everything, my boyfriend asked me if I'd come by the restaurant again. Not for dinner, just near closing. He said he wanted to show me something. I'll be honest, I was hesitant. I didn't want Tortilla 2.0. But I went. The kitchen was slower that night. Different vibe. No rush, no chaos. He brought me into the back and said, wait here. 10 minutes later, he comes out with a plate. And it's the actual Caesar tortilla. But like, done properly. Crispy bacon, melted cheese, warm, grilled the way it's supposed to be. He even added extra bacon because he knows I like it crispy. And he just kind of stood there, awkwardly, holding it, and said, this is what you ordered. It wasn't about the food at that point. It was about what he was trying to say without making a big speech. We sat down and ate together after they closed. And he told me something I didn't fully understand before. That night, when everything happened, one of the line cooks had made a comment like, see, this is why you shouldn't mix work and girlfriends. And it got in his head. He already felt like he had to prove he deserved to be there. So when I sent something back, even politely, he felt exposed. Like everyone was watching to see if he'd mess up. So instead of standing firm and saying, yeah, we made it wrong, fix it properly, he chose the shortcut. Because shortcuts feel safer when you're insecure. And that hit me. Because I realized it wasn't about me eating the wrong food. It was about him not wanting to look like he didn't have control. He told me he was embarrassed, not because I caused a scene, but because deep down he knew I was right. And instead of backing me up, he tried to pressure me. And then he said something that honestly meant more than the apology. I don't ever want you to feel like keeping me comfortable is more important than you being comfortable. That's when I knew we were actually okay. Since then, something's shifted. Not in a dramatic, movie scene way. Just subtly. Healthier. If something's wrong, even small, we talk about it. If one of us feels embarrassed or insecure, we try to say that instead of disguising it as annoyance. And weirdly enough, the whole tortilla incident became this inside joke between us. Now anytime we're somewhere and something's slightly off, he'll look at me and go, is this a salad in a tortilla situation? And we laugh. But here's the real finale. Last weekend, we were out with friends at a completely different restaurant. One of our friends got the wrong order and immediately said, it's fine, I'll just eat it. And without missing a beat, my boyfriend said, no, you ordered something else. Just tell them. You're paying for it. I didn't say anything. I just looked at him. Because that right there, that was growth. Not perfection. Not pride. Just growth. So yeah. The story started with me wondering if I was the asshole for not eating something I didn't order. And it ended with both of us learning something about pride, respect, and how small moments can quietly test a relationship. All over a Caesar tortilla. So now I'll leave you with this. If you were in that moment, would you have eaten it to keep the peace? Or would you have asked for what you actually ordered?